Today I'm revealing my plans for sewing a cozy winter wardrobe for myself. Winter can feel a bit bleh, you know? It just doesn't always feel like the most exciting season to design for with all the heavy layers and the darkness and the weather. So let's talk about how to beat the winter doldrums with sewing as I walk you through all the projects I plan to sew this winter. Okay, let's take a look at my winter projects. I don't know about you guys, but my creativity and energy really tends to be a lot lower in the winter. So I wanted to create clothing that would just feel amazing to wear. So kind of like self-care in wardrobe form, if you know what I mean. The look I'm going for this winter is cozy, luxe, and textured. So to create this mood board, I went through my Pinterest account and started pulling out images that have just been on there a long time that continue to appeal to me year after year. And I pulled out things that just seemed really relevant to me in the moment and that felt good. So I ended up noticing a lot of texture, a lot of this kind of brownish gray color and browns paired with gray, a lot of gold jewelry, which is something that I tend to wear a lot, and lots of texture, sweater dresses, things like that. Also a lot of red. I've been just really loving red lately and using it as kind of the main pop of color in my wardrobe. And I've just been really enjoying that. And I also really love it kind of paired with that brown color. I also noticed a lot of texture. So I had some kind of Sherpa fabrics in there that really appealed to me and that felt really, really cozy. And also this Liberty fabric that I've had pinned for a long time and that I just absolutely love. So I used all of these elements to kind of craft a mood and really envision what life's going to be like in the coming season. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the color palette. So for the colors, I chose black, of course. I do tend to wear a lot of black in winter, like a lot of people. And then a cream, sort of an off-white cream color. That's another color I wear a lot. So those are my neutrals. And then for the basics, I chose that kind of brown, gray, taupey color that I'm just in love with right now. And I think it looks really amazing with a whole range of other colors. So I think it'll work really, really well in my wardrobe. And then for the statement color, I chose, of course, bright red. I already talked about why I love bright red. I just think it looks so beautiful in the winter against gray skies. It just makes a beautiful statement in winter, I think. And it feels very festive too. And then finally for the print, I chose that Liberty print that I've just been absolutely in love with. It's got that red color. The flowers in are actually kind of like a little bit of a grayish color. I'll show you the actual fabric a little bit later in the video, but I just love this fabric. I'm really excited to sew with it. So that's my print. And by the way, if you want to use a worksheet like this to kind of plan out your palette for your wardrobe, this is available in our free wardrobe planner. So I'll put a link to that below. Okay, now let's talk about the projects. So my first project is the Seamwork Greer dress, which is this long body-hugging dress with these beautiful bell sleeves. So for Greer, I really wanted to make a sweater dress. I just really, really love sweater dresses in the winter because they're so warm and they're so cozy and there's something you can just throw on and just be instantly comfortable. I have this black one in my wardrobe. It's cashmere and I absolutely love wearing it. It's just so beautiful and luxurious and soft and comfortable. So I thought about making Greer in black because I just think it would look really, really elegant in kind of a black cozy sweater knit. But I decided to go with this warm brown taupe gray color that I really love. I just kept seeing that in my Pinterest boards a lot and noticing that I'd just really fallen in love with it this season. So I decided to look for a fabric like that. So in looking at this mood board, I was also thinking about how I'd wear it ultimately. And I really like the way a dress like this looks with tall boots. So I have a pair of tall brown boots in my closet and I'm planning to wear it with that, as well as with shorter boots. Anything to keep my feet warm is good by me in the winter. So I think this will go with any boots in my closet, but I particularly like the tall boots. And I think it looks really good with tights and a belt that kind of gives it a different look. So that's something I'll try out as well. I also saw this picture here that has a scarf, a sweater and a scarf that match. And I kind of wondered if I had fabric left over, if maybe making a matching scarf wouldn't be kind of cool. All right, so let me show you my project plan for this one. All right, so I looked for a cool gray-brown sweater knit and I found this wool knit at Denver Fabrics. So the only thing is that when you order a wool knit online, you're kind of taking a risk because you don't know if it's gonna be itchy or not. But I really lucked out because this is super soft and it has that nice fuzzy quality to it. It feels really, really luxurious. So very excited about this. And the color is absolutely exactly what I wanted. It's just perfect. I just really love this cool gray brown color. It was actually listed as mutual brown on the website. I have no idea what that means, but it's a beautiful color. Next up is a project I'm super excited about, which is the Seamwork Sage blouse, and I'm gonna make it in that Liberty print that I'm in love with. So I was really inspired by this Cezanne blouse here. Even though it's a totally different style, it looks pretty different from the Sage blouse, but that feminine silhouette combined with the bright red color and the floral print just spoke to me. So I wanted to do something that was kind of a riff on that. So I've had that picture of that blouse saved on Pinterest forever, and I've also had this fabric saved on Pinterest forever. So I thought, why not put the two together and make something I know I'm gonna be crazy about? So I envision myself wearing this mostly with jeans in the winter. I just think it would look great with denim, especially a dark denim. I think red and dark denim just look so amazing together. So that's probably how I'll wear it most of the time. I also think it would look great with black pants and maybe even with a sweater vest over the top. I knitted a sweater vest last year and I wore it all the time. I think it looks really great with a dramatic sleeve underneath. So I'm gonna try that out. So for my project plan for this particular blouse, I'm not doing anything crazy with it. I'm not adding any details. I think the fabric, this beautiful Liberty Tana lawn, just speaks for itself. I think it's gonna work so great for this pattern because if you've never experienced sewing with a Tana lawn, it's just so silky and soft and it has a beautiful, beautiful hand. I think it's gonna work great for kind of a flowy blouse like this. I know Liberty prints are really expensive and obviously that's a barrier for me too, but I know that I'm never gonna get tired of a Liberty print. It's just really classic and I've loved all Liberty fabrics for years and years and years. So I know it's never gonna go stale in my wardrobe. All right, my next project are these Joss pants in black silk. So I love the Joss pants. I'm actually wearing them right now. I think they're a great alternative to leggings in the winter because they're super, super comfortable. I mean, they're just as comfortable as leggings, but they can look a lot more elegant. So I'm always looking for legging alternatives to wear in the winter because, you know, I think my default is to put on leggings just because they're so comfy. So I'm always looking for something else I can wear that's gonna look a little bit more dressed up at least. And the other great thing about them is that you can easily layer tights or something else under them, some kind of base layer to keep yourself even more warm. So I wanted to do a pair that was gonna be extra, extra luxurious. So I chose a black silk charmeuse for this one. I just kept seeing all of these images of these kind of pull-on pants, elastic waist pants that were made in a shiny silk and either in black or in a cream color. And it looked just so elegant and so beautiful. But at the same time, I can see that they're gonna be really, really comfy. I did for a second pause and wonder if silk was the best choice just because I do spend a lot of time outside and I do live somewhere that's really, really rainy. So I came this close to going with a viscose instead, a viscose satin. But I realized that I wouldn't really be happy unless I kind of lived out my dream of having this silk pants. So I'm gonna do silk. So the way I envision wearing these pants is most likely with a big, fluffy, comfy sweater. Just lots of layers, lots of kind of texture, and really just a nice feeling on the skin. So that's kind of what I'm going for. I also think it looks great with a slim fitting cardigan or just a long sleeve knit top like the one I'm wearing right now. I really like the way pants like this look with ballet flats or Mary Janes. I just think it looks really, really beautiful and elegant. It's not always practical in the winter, so most likely I'll be wearing these with boots most of the time, but once spring comes, I think it'll look really, really nice. Okay, so here's my project plan. Again, I think the fabric really, really speaks for itself. It's just this shiny black silk charmeuse. Oh, it feels so great on the hand. I'm really, really excited about sewing with this. So I didn't want to add a lot of bells and whistles, and in fact, I'm taking off one of the features. I'm taking out the patch pockets just to make it a really chic, elegant, plain, flat front sort of pants. Oh God, my hips. I gotta take a hip break here. Okay, next up we have the pepper sweater, which I'm making in that bright red color that I'm in love with. So the pepper sweater is one of our new patterns and I'm really, really excited about it because I tend to wear big sweaters all winter long. Just keep me nice and warm and cozy, and they're a great thing to wear when I'm working from home. So at first I thought I'd go with a neutral color for this sweater, but then I noticed that I kept looking at images of these bright red sweaters. They just kept coming up for me and I just loved that color. So I thought I'm gonna make something that's really saturated and beautiful and is just gonna cheer me up through winter. I also really like the way this red color looks with a camel. So I think these will look really good with my camel colored Joss pants that I have and also with my camel colored coat that I have. I think it'll just look really, really elegant and chic like this here. I also think this will look amazing with my black silk Joss pants that I just talked about and the black silk charmeuse. I think that'll look really, really elegant too. I also think it'll look really good with my black wool mini skirt, which is just a closet staple for me in the winter. And again, I mentioned that I love red and dark denim together. So a pair of dark denim trousers or denim jeans or even a dark denim skirt, I think will also look really, really awesome. Pretty much all year round too. Okay, so let me show you this fabric. I am so excited about this fabric. So I've had this fabric saved on Etsy for a long time. It's actually cashmere. So ooh la la, really, really excited about that. I'm actually a little bit scared to cut into it. I've never sewn with cashmere before, and this is a beautiful rib knit cashmere. So it's pretty much exactly what I was looking for this sweater, and it's super soft. This is actually a dead stock cashmere from Loro Piana, so high quality stuff. One thing I am struggling with is how to pre-wash it, because obviously since it's cashmere, I want to be really, really careful and lay it flat to dry. But with 2 yards of fabric that's 60 inches wide, I have no idea where I would even lay out that much fabric. So if you have any ideas about pre-washing and drying this much wool knit, let me know below. So the next project I want to talk to you guys about is this black dress, which I wanted to do in a crisp poplin. So let me talk a little bit about this. So at first I thought I would do a wrap dress. I really love the way a black crisp poplin dress looks, especially when it's longer and it has a lot of volume. So kind of big sleeves, big skirt. It just feels so elegant and swishy, and it's pretty warm in the winter. You can layer things under it pretty easily. So I kept seeing these really beautiful wrap dresses that fit the bill. And that's what I was thinking of doing. I was thinking of using the Seamwork tailor pattern, which I've made before, and I absolutely love that dress. But then I realized that I kind of day-to-day don't really wear wrap dresses. I like them for special occasions, but for day-to-day wear, I just feel like I have to adjust a lot. So I started thinking about some other options, and I realized that the sage blouse, which is the one I'm making in the Liberty print that I showed you earlier, would make a beautiful, beautiful dress. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lengthen that blouse into a dress, and since it has princess seams, I'm just gonna extend them out and make a gored skirt. So as far as wearing this dress goes, it's a dress, so it doesn't need a whole lot of styling. I'll probably wear a lot of gold jewelry with it, which I wear every day anyway. Maybe a belt occasionally, depends on my mood. I also think it would look really cool with that sweater vest I was talking about earlier that I knit last year. I think that looks great over a really dramatic dress like this. One thing I did for my mood boards that I wanted to mention is I printed out photos from the pattern page on the Seamwork website, but I actually converted them to black and white just so the colors of the photo wouldn't interfere with the rest of my mood boards. That's a little tip for you. If you want to use a photo of a particular pattern that you want to use, but the colors are not exactly the colors you're going for, you can change it to black and white so it kind of fits with your scheme a little bit better. All right, so let's talk about the project plan and the fabric. So I'm gonna take the sage blouse, like I mentioned, I'm lengthen it into a dress. I'm probably gonna go for kind of an ankle length, maybe a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit more of a midi length, but somewhere around there. I just think that's a beautiful length for a dress like this and really shows off all that volume. And again, I wanted something that was gonna feel really, really crisp. So I found this black cotton poplin, and it has exactly the texture I wanted. It's kind of the same sort of fabric you would use for a shirt, for example. So it's very much like a shirting fabric, and it just has that real crisp, swishy quality. This particular fabric does have a little bit of stretch to it, and I think that's actually gonna work well for this dress. Another thing I'm kind of thinking about is maybe converting the neckline to more of a scoop neck instead of a V-neck. I haven't decided on that yet, but I've seen some tops that are very similar to sage, but they have a scoop neck, and I think those look beautiful too. So I'm still debating on that one. All right, so for this last project, this is gonna be kind of my big-ish project for the winter. Really excited about this one. So I'm gonna make the Liliana pattern from Seamwork, and I'm gonna do it in a Sherpa. So I kept seeing all these Sherpa jackets pop up that I'd saved, and I absolutely love the look. I especially love this one from Totem, which is just beautiful, and it has this beautiful leather trim on it. So I really wanted to do something like this. I actually have a fleece jacket that I wear all the time. It's just super, super warm and comfortable. So I thought it'd be fun to do a more stylish version of that. I really love both the Sherpa texture and then also these little leather details, which just add a little, I don't know, elegance to it. All right, so let me show you the project plan and talk a little bit more about the fabric and the details I'm adding. So what I like about the Liliana jacket is that it's really, really simple and it's very boxy. That's exactly what I wanted for this jacket. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use this Sherpa fabric. This is an organic cotton Sherpa, which I ordered from Nature's Fabrics, and it's really soft. It has a really great texture. It has a lot of nap to it. So there's different Sherpas that I've seen out there. Some of them have kind of a shorter nap and some of them have a fluffier nap. I would say this one's on the fluffier side, and that'll just make it extra warm. And then for the lining, so Liliana is actually not lined, so I'm gonna be adding a lining to it, which with a jacket like this is gonna be pretty easy because it's bound along all the edges, so it makes it really, really simple to add a lining. So I debated a few different kinds of lining for this, and I almost went with a nylon lining just because it's really easy to get on and off when you're putting it over clothing. But I ended up getting this pre-quilted checked gingham lining fabric. So This is a cotton, which means it's not quite as slippery, so it's not going to be as easy to slip on and off. But I do have another quilted jacket that's lined in cotton, and it's not really a problem for me, so I just went with it. I just think it's going to look really, really cool and be very, very warm to have the Sherpa on the outside and the quilted lining on the inside. Is going to be super, super warm. And then I wanted to add some leather details to it, just like the inspiration images. So I found this, it's actually faux leather. It's a faux leather binding on Etsy, and I'm going to be using that as the binding all along the edges. So this will be all along the neckline, down the front, and on the bottom edges, as well as the sleeve cuffs. And I think it's just going to add a little bit of elegance, but also a little bit of kind of hardiness, toughness to the jacket. And then for Liliana, it actually doesn't have closures. It just is open in the front. So that makes it perfect for adding toggle closures. So I was gonna add some black leather toggle closures to the front. And then I found these really cool, they're actually meant for bags, they're purse closures. And they're buckles, so it looks like they're buckles that close in front just with the buckle, but it actually has a snap. So that makes it really, really easy to get on and off. So I'm really excited about those. I'm hoping they work out. I've never used one of those before. So once they get here, I'm gonna try them out and see how they look. The only thing about adding toggles is that it would be really fun to make this jacket reversible because it has such a cool fabric on the inside and the outside. And I think a Sherpa lining also looks great. But with the toggles, I don't know that that's feasible. But if anybody has ideas about that, let me know. If you did want to make it reversible, you could also do ties instead of toggles. I think that would look really cool too. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna size up a little bit for this jacket. So normally I'd do a size 6. I'm gonna do a size 8 for this guy, mainly because with the extra bulk of the Sherpa and the quilted lining fabric, I think that's gonna take up a lot of room on the inside of the jacket. So I wanna make sure that it's easy to get on and off, and especially to wear over other things in the winter. So one thing I've noticed is that these are all projects that have been on my mind for a really long time. And winter just seems like the perfect time to make things that you're really excited to make and really excited to wear. It just helps keep you happy and motivated. Another really great way to stay motivated is to sprinkle in some winter projects that are just really, really quick to make. For me, any project that I can make in a single day just gets me right back in the sewing mood and just feeling good again. So if you have a day to yourself this winter and want to whip up a new favorite, watch this video next to get 10 ideas for projects you can sew in a day.